Hello all my dear students, how have you been? Welcome all my dear second standard students in the English class for today. I hope that you are again rejuvenated and you are ready to watch my lecture and to attend this revision lecture wholeheartedly. Students, this is your Rohan sir. I always send you the interesting English and grammar lectures. And I hope that I always try to make your work easier than it is, and I hope that I am at least almost successful in making your revision work, your lesson work easier for you. So once again I have brought an interesting lecture for English in which I have brought now the revision of the story of 4 seasons, lesson number 10, revision worksheet, so that you can again go back to that lesson, you can again recall the story with thinking about the answers in the given time, and you will have a good flashback of lesson number 10, and so that whatever things which are even forgotten will be recalled and will be renoved again. So I hope, my dear students, you are very eager to solve this, because whenever I display the worksheet, students have been telling me that, sir, before you give me the answer on the screen, I already have written the answer for that. So this is very good for me to listen to these kind of things, because only the intelligent and the brilliant students can solve the answers very easily before even I display it on the screen. So now I suppose, as this is the revision, this is not the first time we are going to solve this. So I hope that at least 90% of the students will be able to solve it. 10% of the students will be such that they have not watched the lectures regularly. But I am pretty sure that by this lecture they will also recover and collect the things which were missed out in the previous lectures. Welcome once again in the English lecture. I hope you all are ready with your rough books. If not, please be ready with your rough books. You have to just write the answers. Then whenever I ask you in some important questions, you have to repeat the sentences and the answers with me, and you have to get a good fun solving the answers in the limited countdown, in the limited given time. So be ready with your books. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Give the heading worksheet lesson 10 English, and do not forget to write today's date. So my dear students, are you prepared? So shall we start solving the worksheet? Let's get started. Now we're going to display the worksheet. See, never have I ever forced you to write the question, but question numbers should be properly written. This is what I say always, because even after informing in all the lectures, still 0.5% of the students, when they are sending their work, their follow-up teachers are not able to identify which chapter, question number, what is written. So try to please improve your writing method and follow the instructions. Let's get started. Now I suppose there should be no queries. So now here is the worksheet on the screen. So this is how we give you the hard copy, right? So no issues. You can still take out the hard copies when I send you the PDF file. So it is never impossible. So this is how the worksheet is. This is where you write all your details when you get the paper, the hard copy of the worksheet. Now let's get started. Now I suppose you have written everything in the header part of the page, including today's date. Please give the heading on the first line, question 1, choose the correct answer. Quickly start giving the heading, please, so that we can start solving this, get the answers, know much more things which you might have forgotten in so many days. Okay, now I suppose you have got ample of time to write the heading and the topic. Let's get started. I'll read the question, I'll read the options along with me. You can also read it as the worksheet is there on the screen. Then when I give you the time, you have to write the answer. This is what the format we always use, and this is what the format today also we are going to implement the same thing. Let's get started one by one. Question 1. In the story of the 4 seasons, who was the eldest brother? Options are written: summer, autumn, winter, or spring. So these are the 4 brothers. You know who was the eldest brother. Eldest means greater than or bigger than, whatever word you are using in the age than you. So that's called elder, or the one who is the most big in the age we called eldest. This is the perfect word we use. So who was eldest brother in the age, if we say, from these 4? Yes, the name was mentioned in the story, so try to recall, and your time to write the answer starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. I hope that you have written the answer. You will get the correct answer as soon as you will finish writing all the 4 answers, so that later you can check it. Next, question 2. Who among the brothers was most welcome in the story of the 4 seasons? Options are spring, winter, summer, autumn. I suppose that you might have written the answer by now, because this is very easy one. Anyways, now I'll give you the time. Please select the correct option or the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, so here I hope that you have written the answer. Moving on to the next question, second last question, number 3 is: what is the phrase for people doing something one after the other? So the options are taking breaks, taking turns, turning around, turning the clock. So which phrase is used for the situation when people are doing something one after the other, one by one, we can say? Your time starts now. This was there in the book, in the story itself. Please try to recall. You will get the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. I suppose you should have written the answer by now. It's too easy. Moving on to the last question, and then I'll write, or I will highlight the correct answers. Number 4. In the story of the 4 seasons, under whose rule did the trees shedded their leaves? Spring and autumn, summer and spring, winter and summer, or is it autumn and winter? Trees shed their leaves. So try to select the correct option. Try to recall in which season what happens. Your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, now it's the time for you to check your answers and also repeat the answers with me once we correct it. In the story of the four seasons, who was the eldest brother? Summer is the answer. Please check your answer whether you have written this or not. If not, change your answer because Summer was the eldest brother. Okay. Now number 2, who among the brother was most welcome? And in the story of the four seasons, who was the most welcomed brother? So obviously Spring. Please check your answers. Number 3, what is the phrase for the people doing something one after the other, one by one? So taking turns. Taking turns, option B is the answer. And the last one, in the story of the four seasons, under whose rule did trees shed their leaves? Answer is option D, autumn and winter. Okay, now it's the time for you people to repeat it with me. We will repeat the question and the answer, not the options. Boys and girls, please repeat it loudly and clearly as if you are sitting in the real classroom. Let's start. In the story of the four seasons, who was the eldest brother? Summer. Number 2, I hope you are repeating with me. Number 2, who among the brothers was most welcomed in the story of the four seasons? Spring. Number 3, what is the phrase for people doing something one after the other? Taking turns. The last one, I hope that you were repeating and you will repeat this last one also. In the story of the four seasons, under whose rule did trees shed their leaves? Autumn and winter. So I hope that you have written the same answers. If not, I hope at least you have corrected or have modified your incorrect answers. Now please give the heading question 2. So I hope that you are giving the heading properly. Fill in the blanks. These are not the normal fill in the blanks. Few are like a riddle asked. So few are the kind of hints. You have to understand the hint properly. Only then will you be able to answer these. As you can see, 4 FBs are there. So again, needless to say that you have to just write the answers here. But yes, at a time, questions you will have to understand because not necessarily the same type of questions will be asked. Questions might be twisted. So please give the heading. I'll wait for a couple of seconds for you to give the heading. Okay, now I suppose my students would have given the heading. So let's get started and let's solve this. Fill in the blanks. Again the same format. I'll give you the countdown in which you have to write the answers after listening to the questions and after reading it. So let's get started from number 1. Number 1. In the story of the four seasons, autumn was gentler than dash. Please try to find out the answer. Your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, I suppose girls and boys you might have written the answer. Again you will get all the answers together once you solve entire question, that is all the 4 fill in the blanks. Let's move on to the next question, number 2. Here the question is, like I said, it is not a normal fill in the blanks. Now this is asked like a riddle. If summer is hot-headed, winter is what? Right? This is how you will read this question so as to make this easier for your mind and you to understand. If summer is hot-headed, if the word hot-headed is used for summer season in this lesson, what is the word used for the winter season? Your time starts now. Try to recall whatever topic was there in the story. Your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, I hope that you have written the answer. Moving on to the next part of the same question. What I mean to say is, here one question has 2 sub questions. Second part is, if in winter trees becomes bare, that means the trees shed down their leaves because of very cold climate. So what happens to in the spring season to the trees? So your time starts now. Try to find out the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. I suppose you should have finished writing the answer by now. Now let's move to the next question, number 3. Each brother was made the king of the earth for dash months in the beginning of the story of the 4 seasons. See, the time changed. There was a variation in the time period when they ruled. But in the beginning, all the 4 brothers, summer, winter, spring and autumn, they ruled for how many months, and then the rule was changed. Try to recall the story. This way you will get the answer. Your time anyways starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay. So now coming to the last question for the main question 2. Number 4 is, the trees shed their dash leaves that had dried up during summer's rule in the story of the 4 season. So in the summer season, obviously trees dry, the leaves are dead. So what happens? Which leaves falls down? I already gave you the hint. So your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, so now it's the time for you to check your answers. Now I'm going to write the answer one by one. In the story of the 4th season, autumn was gentler than, obviously, summer. Please check your answers. Now please repeat this statement with me. In the story of the 4 seasons, autumn was gentler than summer. I hope you were repeating with me. Next question, summer hot-headed than winter is cold-hearted. Is the term used here in the story cold-hearted? So I hope that you remembered this word and you have written the answer. If not, then please write it down. Once you get the PDF file of the questions, you can take the printout, or like I said, you can copy down the questions from the PDF file in whichever way is convenient for you. The next part of the same question, if in winter trees are bare, like bare trees, then in spring trees, what happens to the trees? Trees bloom, or we can say grow in the easy words. Whichever word you have used will work, don't worry. Now please repeat this with me. Summer, hot-headed, winter, cold-hearted. Next, winter, bare trees, spring, trees grow, or trees bloom, flowers bloom, blossom, whichever word you have used will be okay. Number 3. Each brother was made the king of the earth for dash months. Many of you read the half question and start writing the answer 3 months, 3 months. But see the second half part. In the beginning of the story. So at first each brother used to rule for how many months? Obviously 12 months. That is equivalent to 1 year. That's why then the rule changed, and then father said that each one of you will rule for 3 months. This way in 12 months everyone will get the chance equally. Now please repeat this with me. Each brother was made the king of the earth for 12 months in the beginning of the story of the 4 seasons. The last one is the trees shed their dash leaves that had dried up during the summer's rule. So trees shed their barren leaves. It's not barrel, it's barren. So it's worn out. It's worn out. This is the word exactly used here, worn out. Means dead leaves. Okay, so please repeat this with me. The trees shed their worn out leaves that had dried up during summer's rule. And the last question we going to solve, match the following. Question 3. Please give the heading question 3, match the following. And start writing 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which I have highlighted, column A. Don't write this, just write the left side column A quickly. Match the following, column A. Number 1, river. Number 2, snow. Number 3, ice. Number 4, flowers. And number 5, leaves. These are the questions and the options on the right hand side, column B. Melt, fall, flow, grow, blossom. I hope you have started writing this side, and then you directly have to write the correct answer. You have to find out from this side, and you have to directly write beside the questions, as we always do in all the chapters. And I hope you are familiar with it. Okay, so now solve at least 2 pair. At least find the 2 pair answers. Your time starts now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Did you find 2 answers at least? Let's see if you have, then whatever you have found is right or wrong. First of all, we will start from the last option, leaves. Can you say leaves melt down? No. Can you say leaves blossom? No. Can you say leaves grow? Yes, leaves grow. Can you say leaves fall? What can you say? So the answer here is leaves grow. Okay. Next, flowers. What can we say? Flowers fall, blossom, which fits best? What have you written? Flowers melt? No, that never happens. Then flowers flow, but flowers blossom is the best option, right? So this way you have to select each option if you see that whether it suits there or not. Okay, then we can say eyes. Eyes, can we say eyes fall? Not certainly. Can we say eyes flow or eyes melt? Yeah, yes, we can say eyes melt. It melts and converts into the water. Next is snow. Can you say snow flow? That is never heard. Then can you say snow fall? Yes. And the rivers flow. So this way you have to be very careful when you are choosing the options, when you are matching the pairs, that whether the answer you have chosen is matchable with any other question. Then you have to watch each and every aspect. You cannot directly mark the answer. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this lecture and you were solving the questions, getting the answers before I did it on the screen. Please do share your work, take the photos and send it to your follow-up teachers so that we can note your name down as the regular work doing student. With this, I end my today's lecture. Have a nice day. Take care of your health. Stay safe. Goodbye.